She's like a sickness in my brain, a vision standing by the window pane. She ripples through the blinds and leaves me in a daze. It's in the way her body moves me, the way she grabs me and intoxicates, until the signals in my mind forget to operate. Fragile skull, I take my pleasure from my alcohol. She'll never give you any time at all. She just comes and goes, you know, and she's got me living in a chemical love, and I try to find the strength to know when she comes back to me again. I'm gonna come up from my hiding place.
Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and thank you for joining me for coffee and crime time today. Oh my goodness guys, I'm so happy to be back with you. I just got back from CrimeCon last night. I flew in and I just couldn't wait to sit down and make a video. Now, part 3 of Natalie Wood will be out on Monday because I still have a little bit more research to do for that, and I obviously have to record and edit, and I can't record a long video like that until Friday. But I wanted to talk to you guys. I wanted to do a coffee and crime time. It's been a long time since we've done a coffee and crime time. As much fun as New Orleans was. It was so much fun. CrimeCon was amazing. New Orleans is a beautiful, amazing city full of so much history and magic and wonder. I love it there. I did not want to leave. I needed more time there. But as much as I loved it and didn't want to leave, I really couldn't wait to get home, obviously, to my family and to you guys, because I miss sitting down and talking to you. So here's a coffee and crime time. I can't wait for you guys to see my June vlog, which is going to be mainly about New Orleans and CrimeCon. CrimeCon was so cool. It was so cool. I'm so glad I went. I will go every year from now on. What an amazing, incredible experience to just be able to talk to so many different people. Not only the subscribers and the people who are there who love true crime like I do. So every single person around you is as enthralled and obsessed and interested and passionate about true crime as you are, which is great because typically in your everyday life, when you tell people that you're interested in true crime, you get weird looks, but you won't get any of those weird looks here. Everybody is just as into it as you are. But the amount of people that I got to meet in the industry, FBI agents and journalists, families of victims, people who have been personally affected by the tragedies that we talk about every day, I would never, ever have missed it for the world. I'm so glad I went. So stay tuned for my June vlog. It'll be out in the first week of July. Next year, CrimeCon's gonna be in Orlando, Florida. So I really hope, I'm personally gonna start planning and saving so that I can go. And if any of you guys want to, you know where it's gonna be. You can kind of get an idea of what ticket prices are gonna be. So if you wanna go, you should definitely start planning now, because I am. I wish it was next month. I think they're having a CrimeCon cruise in October as well, which would be awesome, but I can't leave the kids again that soon. And October is, Halloween, so. Oh, Halloween, by the way, I'm having shirts made up specifically for Halloween. So I'm in the design process of that now, talking to the bonfire people. So I can't wait to get those done and show them to you guys so that we can all be wearing our Halloween shirts during Halloween. But today in Coffee and Crime Time, I want to talk about a person who we've talked about on this channel before. It seems to be a person that always comes up whenever we talk about people that are guilty or we think are guilty, but never got charged. O.J. Simpson's one of them, and then of course, Miss Casey Anthony. So since Casey Anthony was put on trial and acquitted for the murder of her daughter, Caylee Anthony, she's done some things that have been questionable and problematic. She talked about doing a show with O.J. Simpson, a reality show, where I guess they would talk about their struggles of being innocent, but everybody thinking that they were guilty, which is rich to me because these are two people who I think everybody pretty much knows are guilty. Allegedly, my opinion, don't come for me, but this stuff's my opinion. I'm allowed to say it. I'm not saying Casey Anthony's guilty. I'm saying I think she's guilty. And I pretty much think everybody else does too. But O.J. Simpson and Casey Anthony are two of the people that it's all like a joke. It's kind of like a joke at this point. We talk about how it was pretty clear to everyone that they were guilty, but they got off for some reason. So she was talking about making a reality show with him, which is just ridiculous. And then she was talking about having a book or writing a book. She was in talks to get a book deal. And now she's making a movie. Now, I remember a while back when Casey Anthony's parents were interviewed, and the interviewer asked them, what if she tried to make a book? Or what if she tried to make money off of this tragedy? Would you guys support it? And they were very clear about it. They said no, they would actually do everything they could to try and stop it. And she's not on good terms with them as far as I know. At least at the point of that interview, she was not. And I don't believe she is to this day. For obvious reasons, she tried to pin the death of her daughter on her father, as well as many other terrible things. But let me just read you a little bit from this article. The Florida woman who was famously acquitted of murder in 2011 in the death of her 2-year-old daughter Caylee recently disclosed she was planning to make a racy movie based on her life. The film, tentatively called As I Was Told, will allegedly contain her explanation of how Caylee died. Newsweek reports that the film could be released next year. Anthony, 33, lives in South Florida with a private investigator who worked on the case. She has kept a low profile until now. She's very calculated, a source close to Anthony tells People. She wants to tell her side of the story. That's her big plan, to finally, 11 years later, tell what happened, and she's going to tell everything. She's going to tell everything. Now, obviously, I don't support this movie. I don't support anything that Casey Anthony would do, which gives her side of the story, which uses the death of her daughter in order to make money or to continually promote the narrative that she's innocent. I don't support that personally. Will I watch it? Yes, of course I will. I'll watch it because obviously I'm curious, as all are you. As all are you? As you all are as well. I know you guys are. If you're interested in the Casey and Caylee Anthony case, you will watch this movie because you want to know what this crazy girl, this liar who is a compulsive, known liar, what she has to say about what really happened, and she's going to tell it all. I don't think Casey Anthony knows how to tell it all. I don't think she knows how to tell the truth. She doesn't. She's never told the truth. She is a notorious liar. She makes up the most crazy, overblown, ridiculous, exaggerated lies that I've ever heard of in my life. Now, if you guys are interested and you haven't seen my Caylee and Casey Anthony series, I will link them. I think it was a 3-parter in the description box. And I go very in-depth into everything that she lied about, almost to the point where you might think I'm making some of this stuff up because it's so ridiculous. The movie will include several racy parts, Anthony tells the Daily Mail. Anthony acknowledges that she has been with several men and that there will be a scene that will depict how she became pregnant. So that was another big thing about the whole Casey Anthony scenario, the Casey Anthony mystique. Nobody ever really knew who Caylee Anthony's father was. Who was he? She never told. It was speculated that she didn't even know who he was, which is fine. I don't care. I'm not judging you that you don't know who her father is. I'm sure there's many people who've gotten pregnant during one-night stands. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a bad mother. I mean, she's a bad mother or was a bad mother, but in general, that kind of thing doesn't make you a bad mother or person. However, I have a sneaking suspicion, and this kind of supports that she's known the whole time who Caylee's father was. She just never told anybody. Why? Once again, another reason why I want to watch this movie, because I want to know what was so serious or so secret about the identity of Caylee Anthony's father. The article then goes on to ask a question, so why would a movie about Caylee's death have racy sex scenes? Good question. Casey is really smart, the source tells People. She knows what will get people to watch. She has to tell her side, and she knows what audiences want to see, which is sex. She's not ashamed to talk about sex or own up to what she has done in the past. So is the movie going to be racy and explicit? Yes, but it won't be gratuitous. It's part of her story. She's used to controversy. Anthony's controversial past includes the 2008 disappearance of Caylee, who was missing for 31 days before Anthony's mother, Cindy, reported her missing. After a worldwide search for the missing toddler, the girl's remains were found in a wooded lot less than 1/3 of a mile from the Anthony family home. Anthony was charged with first-degree murder. Anthony talked to several production companies before choosing one for the new film, which she has said would be filmed in North Carolina. The film will be low budget, like Casey Anthony. Casey Anthony's low budget, but Anthony will be able to put her own stamp of approval on it. She's going to have total editorial control, the insider tells people, and she's going to push the envelope. She wants everyone to talk about this movie, and then she'll never speak publicly about her life or Caylee's death ever again. I doubt that. See, the thing is, with Casey Anthony, she was given the name most hated woman in America after what happened after she was acquitted. And I almost feel like she owned that title. Like, she almost enjoyed it. You know, she's always liked the attention. She's always liked the spotlight being on her. So why would this be any different? People like that, they don't care how the spotlight hits them as long as it does. A couple of years ago, there was an article that said Casey Anthony was bored with her life. I think it was 3 years ago. Casey Anthony was bored after being acquitted. She's bored with her life. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so a source close to her said there's not much going on in her life. She gets up each day, hangs around, checks the internet, takes some pictures, and doesn't do much. She can't hold a real job, and she doesn't really make a lot of friends for obvious reasons. When people find out about her history, they usually bail on her. She's 30 with very few friends her age. Sources accuse Anthony of staging paparazzi-style photo ops when she's low on cash. She allegedly tries to sell these photos to various media outlets. Now, once again, this is alleged that she does that, but I 100% believe it. That is something she would do. She's not thinking, my daughter died, everybody thinks I did it, and I can't hold a job, which I don't really believe that you can't hold a job. You just don't want to hold a job. Just like when you were a young girl with a baby, you couldn't keep a job. She couldn't keep a job. She couldn't commit herself to any one company or profession for very long because that's how she is. She's kind of flighty. She's not responsible. She's not a dependable person. She gets bored easy. And this is a sign, obviously, of somebody who's not super happy with their life, who doesn't really have something to fill it up with. So my advice to her or somebody like her would be to find something that you're passionate about, that you want to do, that you like, something to fill up your days. Because as far as I'm concerned, you got away with murder. You got a new lease on life. And how dare you at this point, after allegedly, in my opinion, taking the life of your daughter, your 2-year-old child, making it impossible for her to ever be bored with her life. You have the balls to now say you're bored with your life when you should be spending it in prison. As far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, she should be in prison. And you're out. You can do whatever you want. You can be whoever you want because she doesn't have to stay in Florida, guys. Come on, of course everybody in Florida knows who Casey Anthony is. Why are you still there in Florida? Leave Florida. In fact, leave the country. Please go. And the reason for this would be A, nobody wants you here, and B, nobody really knows who you are over there. How many people did I have on my Caylee Anthony videos from different countries who said, I've never even heard of her. I didn't even know who she was. Thanks for letting me know about this case because it's important, but I didn't know before. If she went to a different country, she could start over. She could have a new life. Nobody would know who she was. She could get a job. She could take pictures, whatever she wants to do. She could open her own photography company, which is what she tried to do here in Florida, which of course it didn't work because everybody knows you in Florida. Go to a different country. Go to Canada. Go someplace else. You're not as notorious overseas. And you won't be bored, and you won't be blocked from getting jobs as she claims she is because of her reputation. Of course, your reputation follows you around Florida where you lived, where it happened, where, the most news footage and coverage was happening. Why did she stay there? Is it possibly because she likes being recognized? Is it possibly because she likes having the option to stage photo ops with paparazzi who know who she is so that she can then sell those pictures to them to get some extra cash instead of actually getting a job? In my opinion, yes. If it was me, if this was me, whether I was guilty or innocent, I would have been gone. First of all, I wouldn't have felt safe, and I don't know how she does, but I wouldn't have felt safe. And second of all, I'd want to start fresh. She has a second chance. She has a second chance to reinvent herself in any way she wants. And instead of doing that, she enjoys playing the part of Casey Anthony, most hated woman in America, killer of her daughter. Everybody thinks that about her. Everybody says that about her. And she stays literally in the epicenter where it happened. And as my mother would always tell me, and I'll tell Casey this right now because I'm sure she Googles herself and she watches what people say about her on the internet because she's so bored, but only boring people get bored. It's a big world out there with a lot of things to do and a lot of things to see. There's absolutely no reason this woman should be bored. There's absolutely no reason that this woman should be anything besides eternally grateful that she somehow escaped life in prison. Now, according to the Orlando Weekly, she said, "I just feel my truth needs to be out of me. I need to close the book." It kind of drives me crazy when people say my truth, especially people like Casey Anthony. Now, of course, in certain situations, there's always going to be the way you feel about things. And that way that you feel may be different than the way other people feel. But in a situation like this, there's the truth and then there's not the truth. It's pretty black and white. What happened and what didn't happen. So what is your truth in relation to this kind of situation where it's pretty black and white? You either killed your daughter or you didn't. If you didn't kill your daughter, why did you wait an entire month to report that she was missing, that you had no idea where she was? Why did you make up a fake nanny who never existed and said that your daughter was with this fake nanny? Why did you think it was okay that this fake nanny had taken your daughter for a month and you had no idea where she was and hadn't spoken to her and didn't feel that that was, relevant or important enough to report to the police while you were shaking your ass at a club? Why, when you got caught, did you bring the police to Universal Studios where you said that you worked and where she might be and walk them around looking for an office that didn't exist because you didn't work there? Why? If she's going to answer those questions in this movie, then that is your truth, absolutely. And I would love to hear your truth. Why you would do what you did. Why you would behave in the way you behaved when your daughter was missing. In my opinion, allegedly, only a person who knew exactly where Caylee was and exactly what happened to her would not go searching for her, would not call the police, would not be on the phone with anybody that she could find or get a hold of to try to find out where her daughter was. And that's pretty much the truth, in my opinion. It's my truth. As I was told, what is this title, As I Was Told? What is that supposed to mean? As I was told. Here's my thoughts or my prediction. As I was told, is that going to refer to the fact that everybody else is responsible for this and she has no responsibility for what happened to Caylee at all? I was told that Caylee was okay by Zanny the nanny who didn't exist. I was told that they were, going around and going to the zoo and going to the parks and my daughter was completely taken care of and fine. I was told by my father that Caylee drowned in the pool and we had to take care of that now. I was told. Just the title, As I Was Told. That shows me that's not your truth. That's you trying to just put the blame on everybody else, put the responsibility on everybody else. You were just an innocent bystander. You are as much of a victim as your daughter is, right? Because you were just sitting here living your life and everybody was just telling you everything was fine, everything was cool, and it's good, as I was told. That's my theory of why it's going to be called that. But As I Was Told will be shot in Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina by an unnamed duo of filmmakers who are based in the area and who will cast the movie with local talent. Personally, I'm surprised Casey Anthony's not trying to get in that movie as herself. I mean, she might. What if we see Casey Anthony as herself in that movie? Wouldn't that be something? And I can just imagine Casey sitting there and casting, the local talent coming in, girls who are trying out for the part of Casey Anthony in this movie. And she's sitting there and she's like, no, that girl's not right for this. She doesn't look sad enough. That girl's not right for this. She doesn't sound sincere enough. That girl's not right for this. She doesn't look devastated enough. We need somebody who can really act and pull this off and, make people believe that something happened that didn't. And make people believe that the things she is saying are real when they're not because she's acting. And then Casey's gonna be like, who else is better for this part than me? I'm the best actor. I 100% have been lying to people my entire life and making them believe stories that weren't true. So I should play this part. Nobody else can do it but me. Oh, that would be insane. Okay, so here's another article. Casey Anthony claims the movie, which promises both legal and erotic content, could premiere as early as next year. Here we go. Okay. She says, yes, I drank and carried on like nothing happened, she said of her decisions after Caylees' death. The movie is called As I Was Told because I'd done what I was told to do. I had to put on a fake persona throughout those 31 days. Okay. She's calling it As I Was Told because she'd done what she was told to do throughout those 31 days, and she had to put on a fake persona. That's a twist I didn't expect. I wonder who told her to act as if her daughter wasn't missing or dead. Who told her to act like nothing happened? Who told her to not report her daughter missing? Is she trying to push this off on her parents again? I think so. Okay, so am I being too hard on Casey Anthony here? I'm just looking at myself and thinking whether I was responsible or not responsible for the death of my 2-year-old daughter and I was acquitted, would I ever make a movie about the situation, that time in my life where I feel like that would have been the most traumatic and just complicated and hurtful and painful time of my life where I lost my daughter, my baby daughter? Would I make a movie about that time that included erotic sexual scenes and then go into the press and keep referring to it as a racy and explicit movie? Would I do that, or would I want to honor my daughter's memory and make it the most Caylee-centered piece of work that I could? A movie about her life, a movie about who she was, a movie about how badly she's missed and how much of a hole she left in my heart when I lost her. Wouldn't that be what you would think you would do to honor your child? Whether or not you feel like you had some experiences where you were innocent and you're being falsely accused now in the public eye, whatever, that's like your own personal experiences. That's your own personal stuff. That's fine. But like I said, she continues to live here. She continues to stay in the United States. Not only that, she continues to stay in Florida, but then she complains about how everybody knows who she is and judges her. It's always been about Casey Anthony. It's always been Casey Anthony first. She's selfish, she's narcissistic, she's self-centered. She thinks that the universe revolves around her. And it wasn't just when she was 17 or when she was 21 or 25. She's a 33-year-old woman now, and she's still in that mindset where this movie is called What I Was Told. It's about her experiences and her life and what she went through being falsely accused, allegedly, of this, what she went through being forced to put on a fake persona and not report her daughter missing. And even so, if what I'm kind of getting from this is right, is she knew Caylee was dead and somebody told her to act like nothing was wrong so that nobody would find out, somebody told her to do this. How much of a cold-hearted person are you that you can even follow these instructions as really well as she did? I mean, you would look at her in those pictures, you would look at her in general from day to day and all the people that are around her who said they never knew anything was amiss with her. She seemed fine. She would pretend to be talking to Caylee on the phone. She would be pretending to know where her daughter was. She seemed absolutely fine. Besides that one time where her boyfriend that she was living with at the time walked in on her and she was looking at pictures or videos of Caylee on the computer and she was crying, you'd never see a break in her facade that she's apparently putting on, the outward appearance that everything is fine, that I'm just a normal young girl partying it up, living it up, and having a great time. What kind of cold-hearted person do you have to be to do that, knowing something's wrong with your daughter, knowing she's missing or even that she's dead? How cold-hearted do you have to be to do that, even if somebody told you to? Who are you protecting that's more important than protecting your daughter's name, your daughter's legacy, your daughter's memory? Even though in any interview she's ever had, which haven't been many, she said, I don't know what happened to Caylee. I have no idea. So now you're going to tell the truth, which is the whole truth, which is you did know what happened because you were told to act a certain way. And why would you be told to act a certain way without asking a question of why you had to act that certain way? Anyways, let's close this up here or end this here. It's not closed. We're going to watch this movie in 2020, right? And then we'll talk about it then. I can't wait. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. How many people are out there who think that it's a possibility Casey might be innocent? And I'll see if I can put a poll in this video so that I can get a definite read on what the feelings are. I think a poll was done, a Gallup poll, and it was like something like 68% of Americans were like 100% sure that Casey did this, and others were kind of on the fence. So who here is on the fence? Who here is 100% sure she did it? And who here 100% thinks she did not do it? Let me know. I'll pop that poll up right here, one of these places, and we'll see what the results are. Thank you guys so much. I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad to be back with you. Oh, did you see my shirt? I got this from CrimeCon. It says catch killers, not feelings. And then I think it says CrimeCon someplace here. Oh, it's right here. It says CrimeCon. And I got this fleur-de-lis necklace when I was in New Orleans. Me and my sister got a matching one, so. Drinking iced coffee today because it's very hot out, even though it will never compare to the heat and the humidity of New Orleans. I was sweating the entire time. My hair was so greasy and flat because I was so humid, and I was just covered in sweat from like the beginning of the day till the end, especially when I was outside. It was so humid. I can't even explain it. And the locals were saying, don't even come here in July or August because it's unbearable. You won't be able to survive. And it gets humid here. Like right now it's pretty warm here. So that's why I'm having the iced coffee, but nothing like that. So in the vlog, when I do my June vlog, you'll see me, especially in the outside shots, looking just like a mess, like just a greasy, oil slick, flat-haired mess. And my voice is, I'm losing my voice. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. Some of you do, some of you don't, but I was just spending the entire 3 days talking to people. We did karaoke at the Cat's Meow. So me, John Crimes, Gray Hughes, we all sang karaoke at the Cat's Meow. It was awesome. I put the video up in my community page today, which will be yesterday when this video posts, but it was so funny. It was so fun. So I was like really going hard with the singing. And then whenever we went out to bars or restaurants, or anytime there was a big group of people, I was constantly having to kind of shout to be heard because it was so loud. And my voice is just not, it's not what it needs to be. It sounds real husky. I definitely can't even sing. Like I love to sing all day long, but I haven't been able to sing because it just sounds bad when I sing. So hopefully it comes back soon. While I was at CrimeCon, I was very blessed and lucky to be able to interview retired FBI agent Jeff Reinick and Marilee Strong. They wrote a book together called In the Name of Children. I have it right here. It was such an incredible experience to interview them. Jeff Reinick was the FBI agent responsible for getting a confession out of Cary Stayner, who was the perpetrator in the Yosemite murders. And it was just so amazingly incredible and intense to be able to sit down with him and Marilee and give firsthand accounts of what it was like to be in the room with Cary Stayner, how he was able to get the confession out of him, how he connected with him on a deeper level in order to make Cary feel heard and feel cared for so that he felt comfortable giving that confession. And as Jeff is very clear to say, that's not a tactic. It's not like a good cop, bad cop thing. Jeff does this because he genuinely cares so deeply about people, and he doesn't think anybody is undeserving of having a connection. He doesn't feel like anybody's undeserving of that human connection where they feel like somebody finally cares about them. And I am doing a video on the Yosemite murders. John Crimes and I are doing a collab video with that. It's going to be very detailed, documentary style. It's such an insane case. There's so much to it. So it's definitely going to take a couple of months to get together and get all the research because I want it done right. But the interview with Jeff and Marilee is going to be so impactful to that video, to just have them talk to me about the case, about Cary, about his background, about his family, about his brother, Stephen. Stephen, Cary's brother, was actually abducted and held captive by a man who abused him for 7 years. There's so much to this case and the story. I can't wait to do the video, but I am researching it heavily now, and it's going to be amazing. But if you guys are interested in this book, I definitely love this book. It's so informative. It's so well written. There's so much in here. For the true crime fan, for somebody who really likes to read a book that's written by somebody who is in the field, like Jeff, it's amazing. You will love it. I will put the link to the book in the description box. I was just so happy that I was able to talk to them and meet them and sit down with them and look them in their eyes. And at the end of the interview, Jeff got very emotional talking about the people that he's helped, that he's reached, that he's touched in his life, and how they continue to keep in touch with him, and he keeps in touch with them because they've just become a part of each other now. They've become part of the fabric of each other's lives. And Jeff's wife was there. She's a lovely woman. They clearly have an amazing marriage, an amazing bond, an amazing relationship that's based off of support and mutual respect and obvious true love. Marilee is an incredibly intelligent woman. I was so interested in talking to Mary Lee, especially after the interview, because she is so knowledgeable about the Scott Peterson case. She was at the trial of Scott Peterson. She had so much insight and knowledge to give me, and I can't wait to reach out to her and talk to her more about that, because there's always so much more I want to know about the Scott Peterson case, obviously. It was an amazing experience. These are wonderful, smart, intelligent, compassionate individuals, and I was so lucky to be able to spend a couple hours with them while I was in New Orleans. So if you guys want this book, you should definitely read it. I recommend it. Check out the description box in the video, and I will see you next time. Stay kind and stay beautiful. Bye.